All right, people. So we're doing 6 o'clock on the dot. I've been meaning to do this since 5:30. Some shit. Right, here we go. We're looking for Charlotte. Hi, good evening, Kieran. I was just looking for Charlotte. Oh, I think that proves I haven't been doing anybody's head in. If uh, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so I haven't called for a while. And the last time I called, I spoke to Tom. No, okay, so I'm gonna have to start from scratch. Well, very quickly, Kieran, my name's Charles. I'm a sole trader. I run my own little link business based down in Cardiff. And I've called a couple of times, not for a long time. So I called first in November 21, spoke to Sarah. Then I called in May 22, and I think that's when I spoke to Tom, but he said to email Charlotte. So I've been able to email kingsamsabigoveni@gmail.com, but I haven't called or emailed for quite some time. But the reason for the call, or the reason for the calls initially as well, was I was always allowed permission to leave some prices for ink for a particular brother printer that I was given. Would even though those people that I've mentioned are no longer there, would I still be allowed permission to send an email across with my name, Charles, and some prices for the ink? Would that be okay with you? Yeah. Is it? I know it's a bit of a long shot to ask you this, but is it still the same printer that they gave me back a few years ago, the Brother um, MFC printer? I don't know if that rings any bells. Yeah, MFC-L 2710. Does that ring a bell? Oh, perfect. Who, if you don't mind me asking, who now does the ordering for the ink? Right, so let me write this down. Bear with me. So it's Lauren slash Maria. Brilliant. And if I send an email across, does that go through directly to them, or does it go through? Do you get to see it first, or does it go to them directly? The company email, yeah, perfect, fantastic. So I need to double check then. How are you spelling Kieran? Bear with me, bear with me. Kieran. Yeah. I don't want this to influence you, but I do think that's the best way of spelling Kieran. And I have to wait for the spelling first, though. No matter what you said, I was going to say the same thing. What I'll do then, I'll put my name, Charles, in the email. I'll put my prices for the toner, price for the drum, and my delivery charge. And then if it is something of interest to either Lauren or Maria, just please let me know. Um, as when there is absolutely no rush at all. I know obviously they wouldn't, I've never spoken to them, but the kind of attitude I'm trying to get across is I'm not hassling people, I'm not pestering them and badgering them, and that's the reason why, I'm out of date with the people that I spoke to last time, really, Kieran. But I'll send it over now, mate. You have a nice evening, and thank you very much for letting me send it. Much appreciated. Cheers, mate. Bye bye. As discussed. Did. Selecting through. That's fucking weird. Hi, good afternoon. I was just looking for Paul, if possible. Oh, oh, sorry, but I've got Bull's head in, but I normally speak to Jackie as well. Yeah, of course. My name's Charles, and I've called before. I've been given the email info at Bull's Head In, and I've always been given permission to leave some prices for ink for a particular printer, but I haven't called for about 3 or 4 months, so I was just trying to get through, really. Yeah, there's no rush. Thank you. Hey, Jackie. You might remember me. It's Charles, sole trader guy from Cardiff. Hiya. It's only a quick one because I know you're busy. I was just going to ask, would you allow me permission again to pop you an email through to the info one to forward on to Paul for the ink prices? Would that be okay? I called you at the beginning of December, so give me 2 seconds. So 8th of Jan, 8th of Jan, 8th of Feb, 8th of March. It was over 3 months ago. But how, if you don't mind, because these 3 months too early, because I don't want to be like ringing. Because if you remember, there was a big gap between the calls, like a very big gap. But I don't want it to be too regular. There's no rush, honestly, genuinely. There's absolutely no rush. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's a very difficult one without me speaking to Paul directly. But the only message I always ever say to people, Jackie, or I always try and say to people, is I'm not is I work for myself, been doing it 15 years, and any questions you ask, I'll answer honestly, even if it means I don't get the sale. I'd rather just be straight with you. Oh, Paul. And then if he says, listen, Charles, this is, we've had an issue before. Okay, what's the issue? Let me see if I can give you some opinion on it and then see if we can save you money on the ink. It's not as clear cut as I'm cheaper. So I really want to get across that just because I'm cheaper on the email doesn't mean that I've got the right to then be like, come on, give us a go. Paul's got to be like, no, there's other factors at play, if that makes sense. Anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to send this over now. Thank you very, very much. And then if I'm needed, Jackie, my number's in the bottom left-hand corner. But you have a thank you very much again, and you have a nice evening as well. No, I appreciate it because the thing is, I'm looking I called you on the 8th. It was 8th of December. But before that, I've spoken to you before then as well. It's been a few times. It was it Melissa? I think it was that I spoke to a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at my emails. The first time I ever spoke to Melissa was November 2021. Yeah, and then so it was Melissa twice. Yeah, so I called Melissa November 21. Then I called her a few months later in February 22, and then there was a big gap of December 23. So then there was a really big gap of like, a year, nearly 2 years when I first spoke. When I spoke to you in December, there was a gap of nearly 2 years. You've you've never used me. No, never used me. Never use me. But in saying that, my email is very concise, very clear in what my offer is. But the one thing I will say, of course they do. I've been doing this 15 years. Trust me. Listen, I've sent emails to people, Jackie, that have said, send me the email, Charles, and I'll order this afternoon. And I'm still waiting 15 years later for this order to come through. God's honest truth. Some people have genuinely said it. I'm going to send it over now. The only thing I will say, and Paul will probably know this more, is that there are different capacities of toner that goes in this printer. Now, I don't know what he's using. So, for example, oh, so what about the Xerox? Is it still there? Do you know the model of the new one? Do you know his model? No. I'll tell you what, when I send you this email, it's a printer. It's a printer. That's all that matters. It's a printer. That's all that matters. Yeah, okay, no problem. That genuinely, there is absolutely no rush whatsoever. Genuinely. So I'll do that then. I'm gonna send that email over. You get back to us when you're ready. If you can find out the model of his printer, that'd be brilliant. But no rush. Thanks, Jackie. Serrano. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Hello. Oh, for God's sake! I can survive 2 minutes. No, he's getting on a bus. That's all into town. So he's getting a number 11. He's getting off of Westgate Street. So I was trying to sort that out with him first. Right. So, you're on about getting groceries. So you're on about us having tea there. So what were you making for tea? And is it something that we can warm up later? Yeah. So what? So then, yeah. So then it's up to you then. What do you think? Because it's obviously depending on what you're making. Because I don't want to. We can have food here. Because I'll just go. I'm gonna meet him off the bus stop, and then I'm gonna come back and get back on the phone. So we can do one of two things. We can either he can get a Rustler burger and I can get the rice thing with the samosa. So maybe it might just be easier tonight just for us to be sorted, and then you can just focus on you and the girls and Nico. Do you want to do that? Yeah, do that then, and then try and get Nico's stuff if you can. That'll help me then in the morning, and then obviously then we'll just have a chat tomorrow. But bearing in mind though, if I move into this office this week or whatever, I do want things to change a little bit because I'm hoping that you might start coming in a little bit, which means we're going to be spending a little bit more time together. Do you know what I mean? So then you don't have to be stressing so much in the evening about me, spending time together. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, true. Do you know what I mean? Because I will have to permanently stay late at least 2 nights a week because I've got to make the extra money to pay for it. You know. But yeah, no worries. I'll speak to Tyler now because I got to go out and meet him, so it could be perfect timing. Because then we'll just nip over the shop and grab our tea. All right. Right. See you in a bit. Ta-da. Bye. All right. Hi. Good evening. I was just looking for. I haven't called for quite some time. But the last time I called, I spoke to somebody called Lucy. Does she still work there at all? Yeah, it was quite some time ago, to be honest. Well, very quickly, my name's Charles. I'm a sole trader. I run my own little link business based in Cardiff. And I've called before, and I've been given permission to send an email through to the reservations at royaloakhotel.net, the email address. And I've left some pricing for ink for a particular HP printer, but not obviously I haven't called for a long time. Would I be even if Lucy's no longer there, would I be allowed permission to send an email across with my name, Charles, and my contact details and prices? Oh, no problem. Thank you. Yeah, would I be allowed to quote for the ink for the new printer? Would that be okay? Oh, you mean yeah? Sorry, yeah. So yeah, so if I shall I put on the notes to call back maybe in the future, but not for a while. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no problem at all. I'll put this on my notes. And oh, just so I got it on my notes as well. Sorry. Is Lucy no longer there? Because I'll put this on my notes as well. Yeah, yeah. No, 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 it's fine. I'll put this on my notes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers. Bye bye. Bye. Okay. I'm gonna pause this. Change this to 7:24, 8:24, and 36 minutes. 36 minutes, right. Close that down. Close that down. So my boy's coming in to Cardiff on a bus. Back now. in 1 hour and 30 minutes. So that gives me time to finish off and then have food. So 7:30. Hi, good evening, Justin. I haven't called for quite some time, but I was just wondering, is Hannah still there at all? Oh, there we go. I think that proves I haven't been doing anybody's head in. I haven't called for quite some time. Very quickly, my name's Charles. I'm a sole trader, Justin. I run my own little link business based down in Cardiff. I've called before a few times. I've always been given permission to pop an email through to info@lauristoncourt.co.uk. So I've only called twice actually before. I don't know. Is that still the same email? Yeah, no problem. And basically, I called up quite a long time ago. It was in November of 21, so it's a very long time ago. And I asked if I could leave my name, Charles, and my company details and some prices for ink. And the person very kindly gave me the model of the printer, but said to address it to Hannah. I called again in May 22, so about 6 months later, and they said the same thing again, but I haven't called since then. So I haven't called for nearly 2 years. Would I be allowed your permission to pop an email across again with my name, Charles, and my contact details and prices? Would Are you sure? Would that be okay? Yeah. I'm a bit old-fashioned, see, Justin. I'd rather ask first if it would be okay rather than just. Well, you know what the other scenario is. I just send an email like everyone else is sending emails to you, and it looks like you've subscribed to something, or it looks like a robot, even if it's me doing it, one by one, and not a system doing it. It still looks like a system's doing it if you're not expecting it. Is it still the same printer model, Justin, that I've got? No, it's not. I've got Brother HL-L 3210. It's like a color laser print only. Does that make any sense? Yeah. Do you have anything else, or is that the main one? Is that the only one? Perfect. Very quick question, and I know this may be a bit tricky for you to answer me, but I might as well ask because I haven't called for so long. Are you currently using? And I don't know if this will make any sense to you, but are you currently using the TN 243s or the 247s? Interesting. So, layman's terms, the 243s do 1K pages, black, blue, yellow, pink. The 247s that I'll be quoting, the black does 3K and the colors do 2.3. So, whoever's looking at do you deal with the ordering at all, or is it someone else? Fantastic. Perfect. So, very, very simple maths. Whatever price you're paying at the moment for the black, times it by 3, and then compare it to my quote. Whatever price you're paying for the colors, blue, yellow, pink, times it by 2.3, and then compare it. Because if I send you prices, you might be like, oh, Charles, you're more expensive than what I'm paying. But obviously, you're getting the standards, and I'm quoting you for high capacity. Does that make sense? I don't want to come across too nerdy, so I just want to make sure. Yeah. No worries, Justin. I got to be honest with you, mate. I'm a bit of a nerd. I've been doing this 15 years, and I've run my own business for the last 7 years, and I've stayed in business because of my knowledge and my experience. And I'm a bit of a nerd sometimes. I come across a bit like I try and put it in layman's terms. But I think you'll get it when you see the email. It'll be very simple to clarify. I'll send it over now. You said I'm pretty certain you said your name was Justin because I've called you Justin about 3 times. I hope that's right. Justin. Perfect. I'm Charles. I'll send that email over. You have a quick look at it when you're ready. There is absolutely no rush whatsoever. Haven't called for 2 years, so don't think I'm ever going to pest you. But if it can be of any interest, please come back to me whenever you're ready. Would that be okay, Justin? Really appreciate it. And have a nice evening as well. Thank you. Thanks, mate. Ta-da. Bye-bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. All right. Come on, Charles. 8 minutes to go. Okay, so 25 minutes to go. I do 5. So 1220. 1221. 1225. 1226. 1227. Okay, boys. Let's go. So this is Ruth. Hi, good evening. I was just looking. I haven't called for quite some time, but I was just looking. Is Ruth still there at all? Yeah. Um, Last time I called, I spoke to a lady called Jude. Ah, yeah, yeah. So I haven't called for a while. So my name, very quickly, my name's Charles. I'm a sole trader. I run my own little link business based down in Cardiff. And I've called before, and I spoke to Jude. This is obviously gone back quite some time ago, and she was very kind to give me an email, reception at black-boy-in.com email address. And I asked if I could leave some prices for ink, and she gave me the model of a Brother printer, but I haven't called or emailed for quite some time. The last time I called was at the end of March of 2022, so it was quite some time ago. Would I be allowed permission to pop an email across again with my name, Charles, and my company details and my prices? Would that be okay? Are you sure? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had Ruth down. Is it still Ruth? Do you know, or is she one of? It, it, yeah, yeah, brilliant. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll send an email through. I know this is a bit of a long shot to ask, but shall I still stick with the same printer that I was given? Um, or do you know if it's changed at all? I've got the model in front of me. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. They can always correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, perfect. I'll send an email through now. I'll put my name Charles on it. Oh, sorry, my apologies. So when I send the email, I always like, if possible, I always like to put someone's name on it just to give it a bit more human effect, if that makes sense, so it doesn't look like I've done it on a computer. But is it? I know you said it may not be Ruth, but would it be okay initially to address to Ruth and then it would then change? Yeah, that gets passed on. So if it's not Ruth, she might pass it on to the right person if it's not her. Yeah, perfect. No worries. I'll send that email across now. I'll put my name Charles in it, my company details, and my prices for the toner for the Brother printer, and then fingers crossed it'll get through. But thank you very much for allowing me to do so. I do appreciate it. Thank you. You have a nice evening. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Hi, good afternoon. I was just looking for Clay. Oh, I haven't called for quite some time, but I was just looking. Is Clay still there at all? Oh, Clay. Yeah, I haven't called for a while. The last person I spoke to was Will. I don't know. Does that ring a bell at all? Possibly. Meg? Oh, so maybe it could be the old owner that I've got. Maybe. Well, very quickly, well, when I call, my name's Charles. I'm a sole trader. I run my own little link business based in Cardiff. But when I last called, I was given permission to pop an email through. I don't know if this email would still work. It's banger tap and spike spile outlook.com. Does that ring any bells? Yeah, that could be true. Okay. It, yeah, because what I've done is I've sent an email through when I last called, which was quite some time ago. But I sent an email through with some prices for ink for a particular brother printer. But do you know if you've still got the brother printer, does that make any sense? Possibly. Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hiya, Paige. Very quickly, I was just saying to the lady, my name is Charles. I'm a sole trader. I run my own little ink business based down in Cardiff. I haven't called for quite some time, so I'll have to apologise because I think you guys have had some changes. So I'm a little bit all over the shop because I wasn't expecting that. So when I last called, I spoke to a few people that the lady didn't recognise. Um, and when I last called, they allowed me to send an email through, but the email was banger tap and spile at outlook.com. And I quoted for some ink for a brother printer, if that makes any sense. Do, yes, yeah, sorry. So okay, so put it in a nutshell. I haven't called for a very long time. So I first called in November 2021, and I spoke to somebody. They said to email Meg. Then I called up in May 22, about 6 months later, which was 2 years ago, and I spoke to Will, and then he said to ring Clay on his mobile, because I've got his mobile number, and then email. They both said on two occasions I've been told to email. But the reason I called this evening is because I haven't called for 2 years. So instead of sending an email randomly, I thought I'd be a bit old-fashioned and ask if it would be okay to email. But obviously now I've been taken by surprise because everything like it's all changed, hasn't it? So do you guys still use a brother printer? I suppose would be the easiest question. Okay. Oh, perfect. Do you know Clay? Oh, Clay doesn't work. Okay, so I need to. Okay, yeah, but to be honest, I never actually spoke to Clay. That I think it was Will or whoever I spoke to that said to ring Clay on the mobile, if that makes sense. But I'll take Clay's because maybe he was the one that dealt with it at the time, possibly, maybe, potentially. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, yeah. Where people are paying no attention to the fact you've changed your email and still sending old emails, I presume. And things like that. Yeah, that's what happened to my email. I've still got customers emailing me like 4 years after I've changed it. But yeah, no problem. Yeah, yeah, perfect. So I'm going to put Rachel's name on there. Thank you. Oh yeah, just to be very upfront though, I haven't had any business before. I've called and been allowed to quote for business. So I've never supplied you guys because I run my own company, see, so I know every customer I have, but I haven't supplied you as yet. I've been allowed to quote and then I've never hassled. But the problem with not hassling is by the time I call back 2 years later, so many things have changed, so many people have left. It's all different to when I last called. But I just want to be upfront. I don't want to be like, because I don't like it when I've had it a few times happen to me in the last 15 years of selling ink where I've called somebody up and they've gone, no, Charles, we've ordered off your company. You called, and I'm like, no, you didn't. I've got 5 kids and I'm all waiting for them to work for me. But trust me, I've got no other employees here apart from me. And they're like, no, you did. You called up, and I said, well, I normally deal with Charles, and they said, oh, Charles isn't it? He's ill at the moment. He's not in. You can place it with me. So sometimes people in business, they do try and pull a bit of a fast one. So I want to make it very clear. I'd rather not get your business and tell the truth rather than try and get your business based on, leading you on a little bit. Do you spell Paige Paige? Sorry, it's been bugging me since you came on the phone. Yeah, sorry. You said it and I wrote it down. And I was thinking I need to double check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this email across, Paige. Do you spell Rachel Rachel, by the way, or with an A? Perfect. I'm going to very quickly, because I know you're busy. I'm going to get you off the phone. I'm going to send this email across. I'll put my name, Charles, my company details, my prices for the ink and everything. And fingers crossed, if you can get it across to Rachel, and then it might make sense. And then she can always get in touch if she's interested. Would that be okay? Really appreciate that. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And you have a lovely evening. And say to the lady before as well to thank you for passing me on to yourself as well. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Paige. Cheers. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Happy brother. Uh, Let's go. Okay. So we've got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna have some food. Tea. Tea. Right, let's go. Tea. Option 4. V. No. Hi, good evening. I haven't called for quite some time, but does T still work there at all? On my notes I got TWE, but I haven't called for quite some time. Oh no, and I've got a T on my notes, but on my emails I've got V, so I don't know whether I've just spelt the name wrong on my email or whether I've just spelt it wrong on my spreadsheet. Was a V working there at all? Maybe, I don't know. I've VW. Yeah. Oh, can you imagine if it's Lee? It's not T, it's not V, it's Lee. No, I definitely think it's either. I think it's T. But I haven't called for quite some time, so I'm thinking maybe they're no longer there. Um, well, very quickly, sorry to bother you. My name's Charles. I'm a sole trader. I run my own little link business based down in Cardiff. But like I said, I haven't called for a while. But when I last called, I was given permission to pop an email through to frontdesk dot hix Portsmouth at Q Green. Um, so I called up and I asked if I could leave my name, Charles, my company details, and I asked if I could leave some prices for ink. And I was kindly given the model of a printer, a Kyocera printer. But I haven't called or emailed since that day, and that was in November 2021. It was a very long time ago, and that's the reason why I'm a bit well, I'm a bit confused because I put T on one notes and V on another. But that person, whether they're T or V, unless it's Lee, would I be allowed permission to pop an email with my name, Charles, and my company details and prices again? Would that be okay? Yeah, yeah. Do you know the person that would deal with the ordering though? Because I know the person I spoke to last was going to forward it on, but do you know the name of the person? Because obviously I want to change my name's wrong now. I need to like it's all a bit. Do you know who I should address it to rather? Yeah, yeah. There's no rush. Oh, thank you. Pete, brilliant. Okay, I'm going to write this down, and I promise you, I'm not going to email Veet and then have this conversation in 3 years, not having a clue what I'm on about. Right, definitely Pete. Brilliant. I'll put my name Charles on it. The only thing is, the model of the printer that I was given, I know this is a long shot to ask you this, but do you know if it's changed at all? I've got a Kyocera Ecosys P3145. Does that ring any bells? Possibly. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry about that one. Yeah, that's the copy of that is. That's the photocopier. This printer may have been somewhere else in the hotel. Um, I'm going to send the email over. I'll address it to Pete. I'll put my name Charles on it. Exactly, exactly. Because he may turn around and say, yes, we still have that printer. You know, thank you for the pricing. Where have you been all my life? Or he may tell me to bugger off. We haven't got it anymore. You know, it's going to be one or the other. But I'm going to send the email through. I really appreciate you letting me know, though. Thank you very. Sorry for being confusing as well. I what a. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say I was looking for a T or a V, and you're like, well, there's a Lee. I'm thinking to myself, that's just the odds, you know. It was a Lee all along. But I'll send it over now, mate, and you have a nice evening as well. Thanks, mate. Ta-ra, mate. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. This one is Pete. Send this email. Tyler, we'll have tea now if you want to go and make yours first. Mine takes a little bit longer. All right, I'll do mine first, then you do yours, yeah? hotels. Right. So we're looking at 1226. So this hotels start at 1226. I moved the needle forward. Forward. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing half the time. So cross this out. Move the needle forward. I'm in garages for a few days. So F you. Fuck you, bruv. Okay. There. Put that over there. Okay, so get some so 739. 9. So let's do this quick. So 5028. It's 5029. Okay. Okay, so 5030, yeah. 5030, buddy bye. Close this. Fucking knackered, bro. Have to call someone back as well. Sick. So I got a repeat order of someone today, which I'm very pleased about. Only a small order, 2 toners. The fact is, they're giving me a go. The feedback so far is positive. So mono laser toners. It's all good, baby. And I paid straight away. So I'm buzzing over that. So here, schedule invitee again. Tomorrow, 10. Oh, must be 10:30, dickhead. Reschedule. 10 and 30. Not bad. You schedule any callbacks today? All good. Got Jackie, Leslie on. Not me. Oh, yeah. Jackie, Leslie on, and Adriana. 5. And then nothing till Monday. Okay. So who's 5031? I'm gonna set a 10-minute timer because it's gonna Tanland Bakery. So 5031. Tanland Bakery. Tanland Bakery, and that's backs. And you got 5032. Just can't ref. So 5032. Can't. Okay, hold on. Five zero 5033. Bill service. Service station. Go back to 5030. What are we talking, brother? We're talking 1560. So 55 minus 15.60. We're talking 39.